Good morning, and thank you for joining us at Croes-y-Parc Chapel's Sunday drop-in. So glad that you're here. This morning we're going to start with a spoken word, and it might not be all it first seems.
I live my life according to these beliefs. God does not exist. It's just foolish to think that there is an all-knowing God with a cosmic plan. That an all-powerful God brings purpose to the pain and suffering in the world. It's a comforting thought, however. It is only wishful thinking. People can do as they please without eternal consequences. The idea that I'm deserving of hell because of sin is a lie meant to make me a slave to those in power. The more you have, the happier you will be. Our existence has no grand meaning or purpose. In a world with no God, there is freedom to be who I want to be. But with God, life is an endless cycle of guilt and shame. Without God, everything is fine. It is ridiculous to think I am lost and in need of saving. And that's how I felt before Christ opened my eyes and changed my heart. I'm lost and in need of saving. It is ridiculous to think everything is fine. Without God, life is an endless cycle of guilt and shame. But with God, there is freedom to be who I want to be. In a world with no God, our existence has no grand meaning or purpose. The more you have, the happier you will be, is a lie meant to make me a slave to those in power. Because of sin, I am deserving of hell. The idea that people can do as they please without eternal consequences is only wishful thinking. It's a comforting thought, however, that an all-powerful God brings purpose to the pain and suffering in the world. That there is an all-knowing God with a cosmic plan. It's just foolish to think God does not exist.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I've been thinking about a few of my birthday experiences earlier in life. They were always deeply disappointing for these reasons. The first is that my parents never had much money to spend. And the second was that even if they had been well off, they certainly wouldn't spend it on me. It wasn't that kind of relationship. But the overriding reason birthdays were a downer was that there was no chance at all of getting anything I really wanted. Looking back, that wasn't really surprising. Despite what I might have thought at the time, 9 years old is perhaps a little young for a Triumph Bonneville. And with the benefit of hindsight, I can see why my parents thought that trusting me with an air rifle might lead to regrettable consequences. And of course, I'd utter those golden words, "It's not fair." Anyone who's been around kids will be all too familiar with this expression, "It's not fair." And "it's not fair" might be a little inarticulate, but it's what you'd expect from small children. After all, they're not going to sit there and say, "Your disinclination to buy me XYZ fails to recognise my standing in this family and your own responsibility as a provider. I suggest you review your understanding of our respective roles and act accordingly by meeting my requirements in a way commensurate with my position." They're not going to say that. But that is exactly what they mean. "It's not fair" is a declaration of entitlement. They feel entitled and they feel cheated out of whatever it is they feel entitled to. The reality is, of course, that life isn't fair. Just ask any number of people suffering illness, poverty, homelessness, or living in a war zone, for example. But a sense of entitlement pervades Western culture. And when our plans go belly up or our health fails, or even when we can't have that extra week in the sun, we feel aggrieved, hard done by, cheated out of what is rightfully ours. At its most extreme, a sense of entitlement is responsible for anything from road rage through murder to wars of conquest. But think about this. If anyone ever was entitled to a sense of entitlement, it was Jesus himself, wasn't it? And yet even he laid aside his right to life for others. Whether we're looking at the Old Testament or the New, two things are clear and consistent. God is passionate about the poor, the sick, the oppressed, and the downtrodden. And God expects you and I to do something about it. He expects us to care and to act upon our compassion. He expects us to tend to their spiritual and physical needs. That's our entitlement. And it's also our privilege. Life is inherently unfair, as we have seen. It can seem random and arbitrary, even cruel. But God's got a great plan to level the playing field and make this world a fairer place than it is today, a better place, a place of wholeness and compassion, where physical and spiritual needs are met. He calls this plan the church. But we could just think of it as you and me. All we've got to do is follow the example of Christ, continue his ministry, and explicitly redefine fairness in terms of others rather than ourselves. I guess many of us are already on that road, but it's a serious stretch of road. And I'm thinking I'm probably not the only one who needs to be a fair bit further down it. God bless and stay safe.
God who laid the earth's foundations, then God who's Lord of every nation, then God who tends each generation is here. The God who left his throne so glorious, then God who walked the road before us, then God who rose from death victorious is here, is here.
Thank you for being with us today, and we hope you'll join us again next Sunday. It might be actually that you think you'd like to join us at our live Sunday morning service. That's on Zoom at 10:30. All are welcome. And if you'd like to come along to that, then message us here on this Facebook page and we'll forward you the link. In the meantime, hope you have a good week yourselves. God bless and goodbye.